Watch yourself.
Yo, what's going on, my friends? I am here with the lovely, noble, and I don't know, delicious Amar Dev, and we are drinking tea together.
Peace.
And we're also playing some improv games for y'all today. Amar, hello.
Why, hello.
Well, hello.
Wait, is your name Soul Tea Time, or is that just the name for this session?
Oh, I just called it Soul Tea Time. I
Oh,
should have
nice.
asked you what we were gonna call it.
No,
for
it's
real.
okay. I thought that was like your avatar.
Oh, that would be a cool avatar.
Yeah.
The Soul Tea Time.
The Soul Tea Time.
I just show up with a cup of tea, or you bring me tea, and I bring my soul, and then we have time.
Yeah, I have the souls.
In
the bag.
Amar, you
I
can
will
bring the
sell them
souls.
to you.
I buy this now. Wow, that's a great business model. There's never going to be a lack of souls. I'm pretty good about that. Dang. Yeah, let's absolutely do that. What are we drinking here today?
So we are drinking an amazing 2004 Tianguanyin. Expertly
2004.
2004.
Wow.
So
is that when they, what do they call it? Is that when they chopped it down, or is that when they just decided to? I don't know. It's like when did
Yes,
they label it? Like 2004? Yeah.
the moment the machete touches the plant, it ages 14 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's magical. So each
Yeah.
machete.
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 Yes. That's that's my late grandfather's. No, I don't.
No, it gets stored in a particular place, either in a humid environment or in a dry environment.
At first, I thought you were saying a human environment.
In a human environment,
We cut up a person and just put it in there.
at least 3 humans must be present in order. It's like that quantum physics experiment where the photon will act a certain way only if it's observed.
Oh, right.
So it
the
needs-
double split experiment?
Yeah, the double split. Yeah, everyone knows the double
Of course,
split.
yeah, that's just like basic fucking shit.
Name drop.
That's right, we know our physics.
So yeah, the tea also needs a set of eyes to constantly observe it
Ooh.
in order for it to know that it exists at all
Wow.
time.
That's
And
so nice.
That's how we
Yeah.
age.
That's
Yeah.
wow. So if no one was, do you think that if no one was looking at me ever, I would just stay like 30 where I'm at right now?
Yeah.
You know, I would just be like, "Good, we're done.
See, yes, that is the whole conundrum.
Yeah.
And the solution to the aging process, just have no one see at
Just
any point in time.
completely
Yeah,
isolate yourself
right,
from
exactly.
everyone.
Yeah, all those
Right.
hermits, they don't age.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, it
they're
makes
the-
sense.
right?
Fuck, they don't need anything. Or I'm just thinking of hermit crabs now. I'm just like, hermit crabs are the best at just like not giving a fuck at all. And they're
Right, just stay in the shell.
stay in the
You
shell.
know, that's
Which they like, do they create? Does the shell morph from their skin, or do they like? Is there some like artesian shell maker?
Right.
It's also like some sort of mollusk or something that's just, or a snail that. snails
well.
use that.
Back in my Crestesian educational days, I learned. I have no idea.
I don't know.
But I'm actually reading this amazing fantasy series
Ooh,
called
fantasy.
the Stormlight.
Stormlight.
Yes,
Stormlight.
the Stormlight Archives.
Stormlight. Ooh, whenever you had archives.
Archives,
in the
right?
back
It's like boom, boom, boom.
of it-
And there's a lot of crustaceans, like giant, hardcore crustaceans. So-
Giant hardcore.
Yeah, so that's been
Wow.
like on my mind of late. But the thing is, it's a 10-book series. It's only book 3. There's like 1,000 pages, so I have to wait like a million years for it to end.
Oh wow.
You know,
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
it's just part of the sort of the epic fantasy dilemma that we all face. You know,
right,
it's like
right. Just fucking takes forever. This life thing. It's
this
just like,
life thing, right?
I really only had this.
If no one actually, if no one actually observed the writer, then he
Yeah.
would just write instantaneously.
Yeah, right. And we would just know exactly what he wanted to say, and we'd get the ineffable joy that he was trying to spit into our mind.
Instant transmission.
Yeah, absolutely.
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 Wow. That was I don't think I've actually laughed like that in a while. Like
That was a beautiful
that was
laugh.
that was like that was like a cackle, a singing cackle. I feel like
I think that should be like maybe your like stage name, the singing cackle.
the singing cackle.
I'm the singing cackle.
Brought
For you
to
guys
you.
today. Now presenting the person that you paid thousands of dollars just to sit here and see.
People would pay thousands of dollars.
They would, especially if you're in like Thailand or something like that, or you know, like
Right, all our dreams come true in
Yeah.
Thailand.
and they do, they really do.
Yes,
It's absolutely
yes.
that's the fact. And
That's the fact.
I haven't been there, but I already know that's a fact already. Just a thing.
I've been there at least 10 times.
What?
In my childhood.
Dude, you've been holding on to me so hard.
Sorry, I just.
Fuck.
He's like, is Peter watching?
Okay,
I'm leaving.
I'm done. Damn you. Yeah,
Yes.
you only invite me when you're here.
Alright.
I guess that makes sense. You don't like to be observed often, it makes sense.
I know. Well,
No
we
wonder
are-
you're so young. I knew you were 80 at least.
I am 80. Yes, I was born in 1938. Math checks out, right?
It's close
That
enough
was
where I just
very-
can't
that
catch
was-
up. That was actually really good. That was
Yeah.
probably like 79. Is it
That's
79?
right. Yeah.
Dude, you're good. And you made it like 1 year less, so
Number-
it seems realistic. It's not like 80 on the dot.
Right,
It's
exactly.
like,
Because
close.
that's not
Yeah,
believable.
close enough,
Like
yeah.
80.
Yeah, right. yeah. Wow. What have you? Can you just tell us maybe a little bit about like the wisdom that you've acquired throughout your 79 years of being alive?
Yes, through my 79 years of existence. Well, I'll just tell you like my favorite things in the world.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds about right.
So my inspirations are table tennis.
Oh, yeah.
I love table tennis.
Table tennis. I was just trying to think if there's any other ways to interpret table tennis differently, but I think it's just fucking table tennis.
Well, it is called ping pong.
It's the type where you get naked and like put jelly on your body and then like hit a. Okay, no, that's not that one. Not that one. Right?
No.
Okay, okay, the other
No,
one.
that's in Thailand.
That's the Thai version. Okay.
So table tennis, improv. Actually, improv came out of nowhere in my life about 4 years ago, and it's taken over pretty much.
It does. It's very invasive.
Yes. I mean, you know all
Doesn't
about it.
ask for permission. Just gives it right to
Just yeah, exactly. You just gotta do it. You just gotta commit.
Yeah.
And meditation, huge part of my life. Tea, massive part of my life.
I just want to say that you have inspired me to drink more tea. I actually didn't like tea before I met you, but then I met you, and then I found my soul again in my tea.
Exactly.
Because
When I
you-
hooked up
you-
that IV and you got straight into your red. You're like, I think I feel something.
Once I realized that you had actually taken my soul at an earlier time,
Exactly.
and then I realized that you were giving it back to me just to show me that tea was delicious. It was just like the most beautiful way to have a fairy tale ending, you know,
Absolutely.
and a fairy tale beginning.
Our whole friendship is just one giant fairy tale.
Yeah,
there.
it really is. It's fucking like Peter Pan on steroids.
Yes, Mr. Pan. Like Pan's
Mr. Pan.
Mr. Pan.
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 So should I be Pan Pan? You be Dev Dev?
Yeah. See, there's my sister went to this college town in Eastern Washington called Walla Walla, and the whole joke was like, it's the town's so like cool they named it twice, kind of thing.
Oh yeah, of course.
So that's like us.
Oh, it's all coming together now. I was
Right.
like, why would you not call yourself by your name? I'm like,
Right.
but it makes so much more sense to just emphasize
Emphasize.
what needs to be emphasized
Yes.
over and over again. I mean, like, say it one time, okay. Say it 2 times, perfect. Say it 3 times.
Right.
You're just a complete narcissist.
Fool me
at that point.
once, fool me twice.
Yeah, so you're very good at just like slightly less when we need to. Not 80, 79. Not Dev, just Dev. Feels good.
Right.
Feels about
I
right.
don't want to overdo it.
Yeah, it's perfect. By the way, I want to just re-chant this. Read that this is fantastic tea.
So I want people to see I don't know if it's clear.
Dude, put it up to the camera so they can.
So
Oh yeah.
it's a very beautiful dark amber color, and so
yeah, it looks like if I was very dehydrated and I peed into it.
There you go. Exactly. Yeah. This is this is after your chemo.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's bad. That's bad.
It's MCIV.
Yes, our IV in the back.
Oh, it's terrible.
It is terrible. But
we're accepting donations for it. Yeah. the pink ribbon.
Well, what I was going to say is that, so I come from a family of artists.
Okay.
And I kind of became sort of the rebel musician a little bit, because, you know, a lot of people in my family, they were either, like, a lot of visual artists, a lot of craftsmen.
Right.
And so I never really understood color that well, because it's like, it's all sonic for me. Like, that's, you know, my lens into reality is very much frequency based.
Yeah.
And so when I started getting into tea, and like I would notice like these just incredible shades of whatever, then I felt like I truly started getting into color because of the different tea shades.
I have never heard someone like gets into color from their tea.
From tea, yeah. Exactly.
I hear like weed, like you really get into color green a lot. And you're really into green. All the shades of green.
Just green.
Love
right.
it all, yeah.
Totally.
But yeah, wow, that's fascinating. And like, because when you first said that, like you were kind of like almost like the outcast of your artistic family because you did music, I was like, that sounds just really odd. I've never heard that
the
ever.
opposite, right?
Yeah, but it makes total sense. With, like, yeah, being harmonically attuned. And you surprised, you totally fucking surprised me the other day when you showed me that. Not only do you do like very like harmonic and very like, I guess I would say very congruent, like heart-based, like resonant-based music. You also do. That's how I'm going to define it. You also do like fucking hip hop and rap, and I was like, no way, Martin's throwing out some drop. He's dropping it.
Oh, I'm dropping it. I'm dropping it hardcore. That's. I mean, I love all styles of music. And when I got my studio about 8 years ago, like it was just. I didn't want to box myself in with any sort of genre.
Yeah.
So just, that's all that stuff came out. And hip hop is so fun.
Yes.
I mean, just like improv. I mean, improv can be terrifying as it is.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yes.
But freestyling is a whole nother level of terrifying.
Because there's cred down. Like, improv is like, now these guys are supposed to be fucking weird and silly. Like, let's not, they don't need, I mean, if you're on the street doing improv, people are just like, just give him a pat. Don't take his money. Come on. He doesn't have any money. Clearly he doesn't have money. but hip hop, you're just like, you got a rep to hold. Sometimes.
Oh, absolutely.
Sometimes.
And it's
depends
just
on what street you're on.
It's such yes. Sesame Street?
Sesame Street, oh yeah. Watch out for that.
Elmo.
Well, Elmo, I was always, what was the guy? The guy in the garbage can that was just like pissed off all the fucking time? Oscar. Shit. Poor guy. No, I think he's pretty happy in there, though. I can appreciate his lifestyle, but yeah.
Oh, no, you always know that he's secretly the most joyous one.
Oh, right.
It's,
that's right.
You know, it's just like these images that we have to uphold. Of being this, like, curmudgeony old trash can thing.
Right. Yeah.
but actually, wait, going back to the...
My childhood memories, I'm changing! No! Oh, yes! Mr. Rogers saved me!
Mr. Walker?
Mr. Rogers.
Oh, Mr. Rogers.
Who's Mr. Walker?
In my head, I was like, Mr. Walker is like your old nanny.
Totally.
Yeah.
I didn't know you knew that, but...
Right. It was actually me, because I'm 79 years old.
Yeah, that's where I lost my soul.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Tending to it.
Did you ever see the movie The Man from Earth?
The Man from Earth? No, I've not seen that movie.
It's just about this guy who is moving from the city, which you never really know what city it is. He's been teaching at this place for 10 years. All of his old colleagues come as this like farewell celebration, and you realize that he's actually ageless, and he was also the Buddha and Jesus, and like he's every person.
Okay.
But because he doesn't age, he has to leave every 10 years, so that people won't notice.
Oh, it's just like Twilight.
Just like Twilight, exactly. I was waiting for you to make that
Edward
connection.
Cullen. Yeah, it's totally about. Does he glow in glitter? Does he glitter?
There's no glitter.
Okay.
Yeah, they did not have the budget for glitter in this film.
Yeah, that's right. He wasn't as enlightened. It's okay.
Because people don't know that the glitter costs the most in the Twilight Saga.
Wow,
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they brought that all the way over from Burma.
Ooh, Burma.
Burmese glitter.
You know what? If you're gonna get, I've heard of the Burmenian how they go about doing things. You know, their form of sexually, what do we call it? Sexually.
I have no idea what you're going to say next, Peter.
I was, who was I going with? Wait, no, Egypt. No, wait. Okay, I lost my thought. It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, no,
we lose it all the time.
No, we do lose it, and today it was lost.
Today is just gone.
No, I think I was going for a glitter. It's just like it's like a disease because like when you touch it, it just never goes away. And Burma, they're very fond. They see it as in a very positive light. Like it's something that you should transfer to people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like you sleep with that person, you get all glittery. You're happy. You're not sad. You don't wake up in the morning, take blow out your pants, and you're sad. You're happy. Yeah, that's where I was trying.
That's where you were
I was going.
Yep.
And the universe is like, watch yourself.
Watch it. Yeah, you're like,
he's probably what are you gonna say? Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Take a deep breath.
I'm just feeling like the tea just like massaging internal parts of my body.
It is actually. It's massaging your spleen right now.
Ooh. I'm aware of this.
So tea actually has different organ associations as well. There's really not. I don't know if it's a lost art or whatnot, but it's not really talked about a lot in regards to how tea is related to acupuncture. Because acupuncture is also something that's really resonant to me, and actually I do it with tuning forks instead of needles.
Right.
For people that prefer a less invasive form of that healing modality.
That's so interesting. I never associated the two, but now that you say that, I'm like, oh yeah, it's totally what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
Like, especially because like I've had a bunch of sessions with you already, obviously, and like you're literally just putting the tuning fork on the different parts of my spine, and I get all jiggly inside, and
yes,
that's exactly it's a scientific term, jiggly inside.
The jiggly, yes, the Latin jiggles.
Latin jiggles, of course, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and different varieties of tea will stimulate various organs.
Okay.
So an oolong, and there's different trains of thought of it, but like an oolong, like we're drinking, would have sort of like a combination between like an earth-based and a metal-based.
Earth and metal-based.
Yeah, so you kind of get more of the stomach, stomach and spleen, as well as the lungs and the large intestine.
Okay.
Are affected by this particular variety. So if you wanted to heal and work on a particular organ, you could drink that particular type of tea and then get into an acupuncture session, and then
That's cool. I never knew that.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I was wondering, like, what organ is it hitting when you just sprinkle the glitter all over my face?
Your face?
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming you would actually breathe it in, and it would get into your lungs.
Right.
So, yes.
Oh, the lungs.
The lungs.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Like kind of like a self-expressive kind of like fifth blue chakra kind of I know you're not a color guy. I know you're a master of glitter as well.
Exactly. exactly.
That's fascinating, though. It's all coming together for me. I'm seeing why you do the T. Of course, I understand the improv part, but I understand the T part now, how it's associated with the tuning fork / sound healing part.
Yeah.
But then how do you link it to the meditation part, which is what we do at the end of every session?
Yeah, totally. So, yeah, just to reiterate what you said.
Say again. Say exactly. I want to hear my words come.
Well, just to make it clear on like what a session at Improv PD is like, because it's a lot of things. It's actually hard for me to explain sometimes, and you've been very, very wonderful in helping me produce these videos to help bring that clarity to what I do. So yes, part one is very much what we're doing right now. It's sort of like shooting the shit / improv with tea ceremony. This is kind of the icebreaker to begin the session with, and also to get out of our heads with the improv exercises, which we actually haven't even touched on.
We haven't even got to do it yet.
But our conversations are very ridiculous as it is.
I think they're totally fantastic.
Yes.
I'm very okay with this.
We will start dabbling.
Yes, we'll
so yeah, improv with tea ceremony. And then part two is the sonic acupuncture, where I place very specific tuning forks of specific frequencies from the top vertebra of the spine and then slowly going down to the base. It creates a really relaxing state where tension is eliminated from the top of the shoulders, and then energy is just brought down to the base, because it's very important that energy comes down in the direction of density.
Okay.
And that's, we'll get into that later as well.
So I just want to say from personal experience, y'all, I felt like I was back in the womb. I was cuddling up inside of no, it is like a total release. And it's, I don't know, it's like that, like very, like that subtle touch. You're not even like touching me, you're literally touching me. I get the physical sensation of sound, essentially, or vibration on my back. That's the only thing that's touched me. I think it's really a fascinating experience. But like, what's more fascinating to me, or maybe even equally fascinating, I don't think I could judge them that way, was that we start, before we actually on the table, you have me like, just like, harmonize or say some sort of like, I don't know. Explain that process.
Yeah, so I studied this particular modality with an academy called Tamado. And there's a beautiful, beautiful academy, wonderful teachers there. And I went there about, I think it's probably like 13 years ago. And with their, what they taught, especially with, so what I do is called musical spine. And
musical spine?
Musical spine,
okay.
Yeah. And there's very specific...
Sorry, I thought it's like, is that a tech issue or good? No, okay. Messenger just died. I think we're still alive.
I think we're okay.
I think we're good. Okay, we're gonna trust it.
So it's called musical spine, and there's actually very different frequencies per like vertebra.
Okay.
Very meticulously calculated. That's one of the wonderful things about this, about Tamado. It's a lot of science, a lot of research went into it.
Very cool.
But for me, ever since I started improv, particularly like improvised singing, which is one of my favorite forms of improv, making up musicals on the spot is just so lovely.
Dude, we should definitely try that sometime.
Oh, absolutely. We'll probably try it right now.
And I'm singing with
So ever since dabbling in improv, I don't know the exact moment, but it hit me like a ton of bricks that before I start doing the sound healing, that I should actually have the client intonate, without thinking about it, the note, the root note that they want for their session.
Okay.
And because to me that just... I feel like everyone knows what they need for their own healing, particularly when they get out of their own heads and they don't let that filter run the show.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I will ask, I'll ask the client to randomly sing a note or hum a note. Just like that.
Yeah.
I'll find it on the piano, and then I'll actually create a melody. And so it's just this really wonderful co-creative process where you're creating the root note, and then I will use that root note to inspire a particular melody on the piano. And you're lying on the table at this point, just kind of relaxing and doing your meditation. And then, yeah, I get all the notes that I need from that process. And it just feels very authentic to me. And it's not a means of me, like, no longer caring about the original method, this original musical spine.
Right.
I still do that from time to time, and it's great, it's wonderful. But, when you start doing healing for a while, you start, without trying to, bastardize the process or whatnot, like you want to create new elements to it. Like there always has to be some element of experimentation that goes on.
Absolutely.
And so for me, this is like my own way of experimenting with this wonderful modality that this man, Fabien Mamon, started, and just kind of creating my own spin to it, in combination with things that I love, like improv, like tea, like meditation and all that.
Yes.
And the other thing that's really important to me, and this is something that I wish more like masseuses would do, like have the actual client do a meditation while they're being worked on. Like that, it's so much easier for the practitioner to actually connect with with the energies involved.
Right.
Because if you're just purely like relaxed, like kind of like in like daydreaming mode, it's still working.
Sure. Right.
But you're not having that true like bilateral effect,
Right.
where you're both working on it. Like it takes two to tango. Like
absolutely. Oh, absolutely. And just just what immediately comes to mind is like as working and healing in the past and through the present, it's like I have been so profoundly mesmerized by how much information we store in our body, how many memories we store in our body.
Oh, sure.
And like when you are touching that stuff, I mean, like I'm sure. I know a lot of people have experienced just like getting a massage and just starting to cry. And you're like, I'm not crying.
Oh, totally.
But there's a reason for that. It's like because we store memories, we store information in our bodies.
Absolutely.
Our bodies are just like USB drives that, it's not just up here, it's also in your pointer finger.
In your pointer finger.
Yes. And your nose. Oh no, when I was a baby I was tickled too hard.
Okay,
so that's
we will work on that. We will work on that. That's what's that? You hear that joke? Is like, oh, I went to the doctor, and it's like, oh, it's like I touched my arm, and like I think my arm's broken, it hurts. Like I touched my leg, and like it hurts.
Yeah.
The doctor's like, I think you got a broken finger.
That's so true. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, it was a broken finger this whole time.
Yes. One thing I wanted to say when you the last thing about like the piano portion of taking what I just beautifully sang praise into the ethers.
Let's emphasize how beautiful.
We're like, you take that and you put it in the piano and then play this beautiful symphony from it. I feel heard on a level that like is just not normal. I just feel like if there was an app where I could be like, I'm not feeling good, and it was just like, la la la,
turn on your music.
Yeah, and then turn it into your music. You're like, oh god, I feel understood. Okay,
Aww.
that's what I feel.
Absolutely,
you make me feel understood.
Thank you. That's very kind. And actually, I mean that's. I've actually never articulated it that way, so it's great hearing you say that. And absolutely, there totally should be an app that creates someone's chaos roar into a sonorous melody. And actually, it doesn't. I mean, it can be dissonant as well. Like I've actually some of my favorite melodies that I've done with with your tones have been very dissonant, and
I'm not fucked up, dude.
yeah, it's great.
Wait, what dissonant? What do you mean by dissonant? I assume deep and sad.
No, dissonant is just so music is all correlated between ratios.
Yeah. Right.
Between notes, and
Sure.
so certain ratios are very consonant and pleasing to the ear.
Okay.
Other ratios are dissonant, so the opposite of that.
Okay.
It's very, it creates like a rhythm, like when you.
The Black Keys, right?
No, actually, I usually only use the black key.
Yeah,
and I love that.
straight.
No, if you just take two notes that are right next to each other on a piano
Yeah.
and play them, you'll
Right.
get this very harsh sort of sound
Right.
that creates a very strong rhythm.
Okay.
So that harshness actually creates this
Ooh.
really strong vibration
Okay.
that many people consider unpleasant.
Sure.
However, just like there's no good or bad, beyond the world of duality, consonant and dissonance, they play with each other.
Sure.
And so consonance is actually only relevant within its relationship to dissonance. So that's why a lot of my favorite music has these very intense moments, and then it will swing to this beautiful melody. And you wouldn't appreciate it as much without that craziness beforehand.
Right.
So
The more I guess I want to say congruent notes are almost or the harmonic notes are almost this. I don't even know if that's the right term, but
it's okay.
They create the structure, the nurturing element for this dissonant chord to kind of almost jump up and down on and almost be the stage fucking show off on.
Just
That's
bed
what I'm
fight.
saying.
Pillow fight.
Yeah. Don't have sex with each other. What do you want to say?
Yes.
How can I say yes? No, I'm just gonna fucking say yes.
Oh, I've actually I've never thought about it in that way. It's amazing. You have such a wonderful perspective on things that for me, I love our interplay, and how we dance with ideas. Yeah, but the other thing that I wanted to touch upon with dissonance, and it's what I do with the tuning forks, is that if there's a really stagnant part of the body,
Okay.
Sometimes consonants can't penetrate that.
Consonance is that the more
That's the
pleasant?
That's the pleasant.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
So because it's pleasant, it also is not. It's not hardcore.
It's not your driver.
It's not that militaristic drive, as you said.
Right.
So when we have these really stagnant parts of our bodies, what's really required is that dissonance. Because, like I said earlier, it creates this really powerful rhythm, and that's often what's required to break up the stagnation.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
then you can have a consonance. So it's very homeopathic in that way, where you fight fire with fire.
Right.
You're not gonna fight fire with a snow bunny.
Fucking hell.
I've lost 10 snow bunnies.
God, dude. What is this? Yeah, snow bunny.
So that's that's the progression. Yeah.
That's cool. Wow. That's really fascinating.
And there's actually this this interval called the tritone, which
Okay.
hardcore.
Tritonal, the epic
drug.
the EDM band.
Oh, I am unaware of them, but sure, that may be what that.
Big dick. It's not that.
It is a drug, right?
Well, you would take drugs when you're watching them, definitely.
Oh, nice.
They were kick ass. They came to Austin a couple months ago.
Oh, really?
And I really enjoyed them.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Hey, there you go, try it out. You get your credit back. Good job. Actually, they're all about the. They were more of they had like the sacred geometrical element. They're all about the geometrical element of the tri force.
The Triforce, the Law of Three.
The Law of Three, the three pigs.
The three little pigs. Well, okay, so
Yeah.
I used to be in this Gurdjieffian school.
Ooh, Gurdjieff?
Gurdjieff, yes, Gorbachev.
Wait, is it Gurdjieff or Gurdjieff?
Gurdjieff.
Gurdjieff. I
believe
get it right.
is the
Gurdjieff.
proper. Anyway,
Yeah.
long story short, the one of the tenets of like Gurdjieffian philosophy, which there are lots, it gets a little heady sometimes, is there's this law of three and there's law of seven. Law of three is the reconciliation of all, dualities.
Okay.
So
is that like the foolly once, shame on you, shame me twice, shame on
exactly, that
shame me
is
3 times?
flame. Yeah.
No.
Nobody
Shame us all.
Yes, that is the penultimate.
It's also like the book. You open the book going, oh, shame me once, okay. Shame me twice, okay. Shame me 3 times, okay. No, sure. I feel enlightened.
Exactly. But yeah, just like you said, the Three Little Pigs, or there's or the Holy Trinity. There's always this number 3 in all cultures, and within the Sufi Gurdjieff paradigm, that's symbolized. You have the 2 dualities, and then you have the apex of the triangle, which reconciles those 2 dualities.
Gotcha. It's like me and you and the camera.
And the camera. There we go. Yes, the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's just what came to my head when you were saying the 3 pigs.
And then just to finalize on like what a session's like, the meditation at the end is always like a nice way to bring it home. And what's your perspective on that one? Meditation in general, or just like in relation to everything we do?
Yeah, totally. So the reason I have meditation last is that everything is leading in that direction. Everything is pre-funk to the meditation. I want to get people as relaxed, as playful, and as in tune with themselves as possible, so that the meditation is a really authentic experience that they can take home.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate experience, or the ultimate thing that I'm trying to convey, is for them to have self-sufficient practices to take home, so that they don't become dependent on any of this.
You don't want them to join Dev
forever mine. Well, that's the issue sometimes with healing work or counseling.
Yep.
It's you get this dependency on the healer, on the practitioner, where it's really hard to bring what you've learned into your own everyday life. Because in the end, it's just easier to pay someone once a week to feel better, and then it's gone, and then so
or just rely on a friend or a family member to just like And I think it's perfect to have someone, your go-to person, to share to express yourself to work things through. But when you can't do that alone, or you lose that like sovereign ability, that is very true to you, or you misidentify it as like something that's outside of you, but really, that they're doing for you rather than you doing for yourself.
Exactly.
Problems.
Yep. Big problems. And that's the ultimate journey, is into that sacred stillness within. Where everything is born from. Everything ends up being this actually incredible magical projection from inside. This is actually a movie. I'm watching you right now. You seem separate from me, but you are very much a part of who I am.
You seem like you have glitter all over your face.
Right, exactly.
It's just inside.
It's your glitter heart.
Dragged down some this morning.
Your inner Care Bear.
My inner Care Bear.
But yeah, so the tea and the improv, it's wonderful, but it's also, there's a dependence on me. The sonic acupuncture is wonderful as well. Also, you can't really do it on yourself, so there's that dependence.
Right.
The meditation, and the type of meditation that I do is mantra based, mainly silent mantra. I've found that this particular technique is just one of the most phenomenal.
It's awesome. It just came to me.
It just, yeah. I was watching that germinate in you for a while. It's like, do I do it now? Do I do it now? So,
alright, just to clarify that joke. When you're breathing in, right? Did I say that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
When the mantra is when you're breathing in. So this one particular mantra that I've been doing.
Yeah.
You say when you're breathing in, and then sa when you're breathing out. Right?
So there's a variety. There's so many different combinations of mantras that you can use, and there's ones that are correlated with the breath, and there's ones that are independent of the breathing. And the inhale the exhale sa is just this really wonderful fluid combination of sounds. That I like having people start off with, and then we get kind of more crazy from there. But yeah, the meditation, that's what I'm always trying to drive home to people, that is the most important part of these sessions. And sometimes it's it's the hardest thing for people to do on their own as well. Like, I know from my personal experience, like, when I started meditating when I was 21, and I made, there was moments where I was disciplined, but I would create all sorts of excuses. And that's just the thing, we have a hard time being with ourselves, being with that silent epicenter, and it's tricky. And so if I can do, if I can help people get into that place where they feel comfortable by themselves, connecting with themselves in that way, then that's
beautiful thing.
That's what I'm all about.
Dude, I gotta say, I have to pee so bad. I'm just like, I definitely can't hold this.
Okay,
do you want to take a quick break? I'm in the bathroom, come back, and then do some improv games?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the bathroom after you.
Okay, cool.
So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, if you want to just entertain them with your wise knowledge, your depth, or maybe do you have a cool? What's a cool story you have about I
got you go. All right.
Okay. I'm just throwing the prompts out. I'm just
Hello, Facebook Live. There was a lot of talking for I think 45 minutes. We're gonna chill out for a little bit. Come have some tea with me. So this particular Japanese style Kyushu side handle pot was made by my good friend Scotty Dillman. I feel called to give you a shout out because he's the one that actually created a lot of the really wonderful accoutrements that I have for my tea practice. He's a wonderful potter, ceramicist, amongst many other things. And so, yeah, if you need any particular teaware, feel free to check out Scotty Dillman on Instagram.
Scotty doesn't know.
Scotty doesn't know. I was just giving a shout out to my friend who made this particular teapot.
Oh, right on. Yeah, it's a beautiful teapot.
It's one it makes me so happy.
Yeah, I feel happy just looking at it.
I know. Wow. Did you have a good time?
Oh my god, dude. I was just like, can I be focused enough? Can I do this? And then you said like fluid, and I was like, oh god, and I'm drinking much. I'm like, no, it's not gonna happen. I need to respect my body.
Absolutely.
And I was like, I hope I missed out on probably a great story.
No, I was actually pretty silent through that whole time.
Oh, you just
because there was a lot of words, there was a lot of talking.
Yeah.
So it was just breathing.
Oh, I like that.
Doing that. Giving a shout out to my friend.
Yeah.
Also, I'm gonna use the restroom.
Yeah.
I will be right back.
I'll go from here. Oh, beautiful. So, let's see. This is delicious. Deliciousness. This is so good. So doing these like sessions with Amar, I've definitely noticed so we do the tea, and I always like, I don't know, I know it's Amar, but it's also like just the fact that you're like having tea and doing improv games together. It's just so much fun. You just get into this like amazing state of joy, and then you lay down on on his healing his therapeutic table, and it's like such a relief. You just can totally let go, and then you meditate. Just doing that, we've been doing that weekly. I've just been lucky to be able to do that with him, and it like, I don't know, it just like, my vibe totally shifts, and I've noticed that over like a period of weeks. I don't know, I guess I feel like it's easier to meditate, it's easier to kind of be in touch with myself. I think like I've just been more naturally drawn to meditate, and what I like with meditation, what I really like, how I usually like to present it to people, especially people who don't meditate, is like meditation does not mean you have to sit and be shut up for an hour. Like that's not what needs to happen. Actually, I think the best way of approaching meditation is taking it in little bites. So if you just have 5 minutes in your day and you can just like literally just sit down, close your eyes and just breathe and just focus on your body, it's like, even if you have 2 minutes, honestly, 2 minutes, that can have just like an insane effect on the rest of your day. And it's amazing how sometimes we don't believe, we have this false belief that we don't have time, we don't have 2 minutes, but really we do. You spend 2 minutes watching a video on Facebook or whatnot, you could have just spent that just breathing, and it's amazing what happens. Like if you have like a job interview, or like you're going to meet up with a friend, or a business meeting or whatnot, you take a minute or two in your car right before you step into Starbucks or whatever. Just take a deep breath in, just like focus on your breath, and just get there. And that's something that you'll start to recognize. You recognize that more and more. So it gets to a point where it's like in a second you can get there, but like, if you haven't done it or you haven't practiced that, it might take like 5-10 minutes. But once you get good at that, it's just it's beautiful, because like I think I know that there was at least like 2 or 3 times where I came here, on my way here, it was just like, there was like dogs chasing me, or like I just had like a stressful conversation with my girlfriend, or like, I don't know, something like, just like I felt like, whoa! And like before I walked in, I would just be like...
That dog that I always unleash after you, so you feel really stressed before coming here, and they're like, oh, this is good.
He's a Gurdjieff. What is his size? Gura?
You're doing great.
Yeah, Gurdjieff. He uses devices that are very well orchestrated.
Right, exactly. So you feel pain, and it makes it seem like everything else is so much better.
Right. And it's amazing when you come begging for mercy. It's just an incredible experience.
Yeah, right. This is the universal spiritual plight, actually, or tactic.
Right. It
that
really
we
allows
all
you
use.
allows you to truly let go in a way you would not have ever intended.
Right.
But then when you do it, you're like, yeah, worth it.
Well, actually, so it's really interesting. Do you ever watch V for Vendetta?
Oh, fuck.
So that's the scene where he is torturing her so that she can overcome her fear.
Right.
It's actually one of my favorite movie progressions of all time, particularly at the end of it where she's liberated, in the rain.
Right.
And I get shakes every time I see that. Because it's contrasting. Like, you would never think, I mean, torture equals liberation, all that stuff. Like, that doesn't make sense. And it's not something I condone either, although it's fun to joke about it, like we just did. But, I think for me it just shows how contextual everyone's journey is. Sometimes something like that might be necessary for someone to release some of their fears or whatnot.
It's like that dissonant chord that just fucking hits you.
Yeah,
in a way
totally.
That is totally unpleasant.
Yeah, exactly. It's that dissonance, and thanks for bringing that back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wanted to bring that movie up because I get the shivers every time I see it.
It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Have you seen Sense8, the show?
I haven't.
Oh, you should watch it. There's numerous examples of that. It's created by the creators of The Matrix, the Wachowskis.
Oh, nice.
And they really kind of tied together all of their theories into a show, which is beautiful.
Nice.
It's beautifully orchestrated.
Yeah.
There are numerous occasions when that goes down, and I'm just like, I'm thinking of the girl in the prison.
Right.
She finds her power hardcore. It's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no formula.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing is, like, a lot of spiritual communities, there's often this formula that's used,
Sure.
like for, what works for one person, should work for other people. And, there's definitely universal journeys that can be similar,
Right.
but everyone's is so different.
Right.
And there has to be room for, whatever needs to blossom to blossom. And sometimes that's hardcore, sometimes it's soft and rosy, sometimes it's all shades in between.
Right. 50 Shades.
50 Shades, exactly. That's, there are 50 Shades. To your growth.
50 Shades of Growth. Oh my god, we should totally do a podcast on that. Holy shit. What? Oh my gosh. Wait, before the 50 Shades, there was something that, I guess maybe it's not as relevant anymore.
It's gone.
God, that was great. I think I was just totally taken by 50 Shades.
Yeah, exactly. So, shall we rock some improv?
Let's do that.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Cool. So, what we are about to do is very similar to how the beginning of a session would go like. We've already talked for many minutes. We've had the tea. We're going to continue to pour tea. But then we're going to engage in exercises that allow us to create distance from our mind, create laughter, because really that is the true barometer. I truly, from the depths of my being, believe that the true barometer to one's development is through laughter.
Dude, I totally agree.
Because it's so easy to get so full of ourselves and so stoic.
Yeah.
Like, I come from like European, like, stoic cultures where it's like just like that. It was very subtle. The little stoic head bob. And that's just not it at all.
Yeah.
Like, it's, the people that are really blossoming are just laughing at everything because everything is so absurd. Like, there's this beautiful balance between preciousness and absurdity, and it's, life is harsh. It can be harsh, but it's also so ironic and strange.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just have to laugh at it.
Yeah.
While
So
you're
easier.
helping the baby cross the river.
Right. Right.
Man. Okay, we're going to start with this first exercise. It's word association. Anyone who's ever done improv is very familiar with this. I'm going to start with a word. Then Peter is going to say the first word that comes into his head. Then I'm going to say the first word that comes in my head. We're going to have this back and forth conversation, one word at a time. And should we choose to be inspired to say more than one word, this is totally great because rules are meant to be broken.
Oh yeah.
So we'll just have these rules in place for the beginning, and we'll see what happens.
Let's do it.
Okay, give me a letter.
J.
Jester.
Juvenile.
Juvenile.
Delinquent.
Delicacy.
Taco Bell.
Ooh, taco maco.
Ooh, macho.
Ooh, nacho libre.
Oh, cheesy fiesta.
Ooh, fiesta forever.
Oh, forever in love.
Valentine horror movie Valentine story.
Ooh, whores and whores.
Oh yes, Horrorcore,
Ooh.
which is the name of a progressive metal album.
Ah, the metal album which you watched as you were sleeping.
Yes, on my metal bed. I slept on a slab of stainless steel. Steel.
Ah, steel, like my look into your eyes.
Ooh, yes, like the dead mackerel eyes that Saul described Mike in Breaking Bad.
Ah, the breaking of the bad, which is actually pretty good.
Yes, the breaking that we all need in order to shatter our shadow.
The shattered shadow side is the epiphany of the executed experience.
The grand executioner from multitudes of deserts.
Ah, deserted deserts live in the gallery.
Ooh, yes. Santa Fe.
Santa Fe! I feel like that is the completion. Santa Fe.
Santa Fe.
Where deserted deserts lay in galleries.
Well, I was thinking, what's that beautiful, the artist, her gallery's in Santa Fe, beautiful, blah blah blah. Also in Breaking Bad, the reference was in that. Anyway, you all know who I'm talking about. This wonderful artist whose gallery's in Santa Fe.
Shout out to that girl. I'm sure Facebook will hear our voices and link that.
Exactly. Actually, we need a shout out from you because you're way more famous than us.
Fair enough.
So that was word association.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was. I feel associated.
Word. So now we're going to do an exercise called Yes I Know.
Ooh.
Where I'm going to say a sentence, then you're going to say yes I know, meaning you are affirming what I'm saying, and then you're going to add your own details. And then we're going to go back and forth saying yes I know, and we're going to create this world together where we know each other, and we have a history, and we're doing anything, really. We're just going to create it on the spot.
Okay.
So, give me a word.
Jesus. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So, I know that you were the Roman soldier that actually took Jesus off the cross and saved him and ran all the way to India.
Yes, I am that man. Sadly, didn't make it into the Bible. Believe it or not, like, the pages that they tore out of the Bible weren't even mine. They just forgot about me. I was just like that. This is like the story of my fucking life. Like, just the guy that just isn't cared about doing all the fucking work. No one gives a shit. But yeah, I took Jesus off that cross.
Yep.
And because I walk up there and I'm just like, I did it like a double take. I'm like, what the fuck is that guy? He's doing all that. What the fuck are you guys doing? They're like, oh no! They were like in a trance. I'm just like, dudes, this guy's on a fucking cross. I'm like, Jesus, did you want to be up there? He's like, no, I didn't want to be up here. I'm like, dude, let's get you down. And we went and had tea together.
Yes, I know. And actually, that's I met you on your journey, towards India in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
I was actually having tea with my camel, and you guys.
Bessie, I love Bessie.
Yes, exactly. You guys were part. You look like you guys were struggling a little bit. You guys need a little pick me up.
It's tough.
And I have the best tea in the land.
You really do.
So I brought you in. We started talking, and then I was so inspired by your your saving of this wonderful man.
Yeah. Saving the Savior.
Saving the Savior, exactly. We all need a little saving here.
Yeah, right.
And so I decided to accompany you to India.
You know what? Meeting you, Sebastian, and your holy, I was gonna say donkey, but I know he doesn't like to be. I know he's.
Right.
I know he's.
He pretends that he's a donkey.
Right,
Actually.
right. He identifies.
He identifies right.
He's a very progressive. Actually, it's funny because like things go in loops. Back in the day, we were very progressive. Like Jesus was.
We were.
He liked to be called a they.
Oh, absolutely.
He's just like, well, it's kind of complicated. I don't really want to get into it. Some daddy issues here and there. Just call me they. Refer to me they. I'm like, no problem, dude, no problem. But yeah, we ran into you.
Yeah.
You had tea. You've invited us into your home.
Yeah.
Bessie licked Jesus' wounds.
Right, exactly.
Which was actually magically healing.
Yeah, exactly. Those wounds healed very quickly. And actually, as a result, Betsy is immortal now from having licked the wounds from Jesus. So Betsy's gonna outlast us all.
Wow.
But
wow. I'm just gonna say this. I had some shit that I need to let go of. I carried Jesus for miles. I didn't get one fucking lick.
With no one. I know. Yeah, you just get no recognition.
I got shame. That's what I got. I got left with you know that they found me with Jesus' body in the tomb.
I know, exactly.
And I got blamed for that shit.
Right, no. Right. You were tending the wounds, and then just you got ostracized.
I got totally fucking shafted. Yeah.
Carlos, the Roman soldier, got But, after we met, we went all the way to India, and we started our own speakeasy.
Yeah. That was
because, Jesus started just, spewing shit all the time.
Oh,
we couldn't shut him up, man.
No,
he was
I wouldn't want to ever try.
Right.
Whenever you're like, Jesus, could you like a lightning bolt? You just feel like the energy, just okay, fine, okay, that's where I go. Jesus, you're good. Keep talking. Tell me more. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
It was loving though, so
it's true. Yeah. But there's also trauma. It's like both of you have trauma.
We had. It was a dissonant relationship, but it was a relationship.
Exactly.
And it was, it was good.
It was good.
And it was good.
And there was much rejoicing.
Yes. Yeah. But you and I, we became, very good friends this entire experience.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's why we're here to begin with.
Well, yeah, this speakeasy actually is dedicated to all people that have been wrongfully
identified.
Identified, exactly. There's just so much. There's so many of us out there.
Right. I've never seen so many donkey camels in my life.
Exactly. It's our niche right now.
Total niche.
The donkey camel connection.
And actually, I was profoundly moved when the donkeys started that healing movement, and where we just. People would just show up, they would lick the sick, and they would be healed.
Lick the sick,
right?
That's the name of our speakeasy.
Lick the sick. Lick the sick. I love that, yeah. It's such a great brand. You were always good with branding, Sebastian.
Oh,
I just want to say,
Well, you know what? I have a surprise for you. We've known each other for all these years.
Yeah.
And I know that you don't get due credit for all the hard work that you've done.
So much work.
So I've written my own scripture.
No.
That with you as the main character.
Oh, shut up.
And I'm going to start publishing, and it's people are going to know about you, Carlos.
No.
Yeah. You're like, wait a second, I don't want it anymore. That was all just show.
Sebastian, I don't know what to say. I'm deeply moved. No one's ever even considered me I just want to give you perspective. Like when I walk into a room,
you
people
give
don't
me
even
40%.
40%?
40% of all the proceeds.
Oh, there's going to be proceeds?
There's going to be proceeds. Yeah, we're going to be rich.
I couldn't even, I don't even know where to,
It's okay. I love you.
I love you. I'm crying, but I have issues with my glands. Jesus shocked me too many times. You know this.
Yeah, I do know.
It's gotten worse.
And scene.
Scene.
Boom.
Shakalaka.
Shaka boom, shaka
Shaka boom.
That was a wonderful story.
Dude, that was wonderful.
Of the untold story of
Yeah.
Jesus. You know what's fascinating, and the inspiration that I got from the Jesus inspiration that you gave was that actually there is a place in northern India where it is said that Jesus was buried.
Okay.
So that is there is a belief that he actually did survive the crucifixion and actually found his way to India and lived a more peaceful existence than that kind of guy. So yeah, I mean that's the beautiful thing about improv is that it's very personal.
Yeah.
When we don't give ourselves the time to filter all this bullshit that we're trying to convey to people, all these images of this person that we want people to see us as, we actually delve into those inspiring stories within ourselves, and we end up creating this crazy tale, and it's beautiful, and I love that story. It was ridiculous, but it was also
believable.
It was
believable.
So believable.
And that what was the name of the tavern again?
The
lick
your sick?
Lick your sick.
Lick the sick. Lick your sick.
Lick your sick. It starts out in the day it's lick the sick, at night it's lick the sick.
Yeah.
Or we could just go out lick, just to be really sexy.
Right, but that's already taken.
Is it?
By this Austin ice cream, how dare they?
Oh, we're talking about 2,000, 10,000 years prior, we're fine.
Right, we emailed ourselves.
Right. We should get you're working on that copyright, or that,
we really should.
A lawsuit.
Yep, exactly.
Well, or we don't even have to sue them. We just bribe them, or they can just blackmail them and get.
Or just shock them.
Or shock them.
We do have
Jesus.
He does work for us, or it's hard to know who he works for. He's pretty autonomous.
Yeah, he's really hard to get a grasp on.
Right. He just wants to spout poetry all the time.
Wants to throw it down all the time when you're sleeping, when you're awake, every second of the day.
Right. It really just doesn't turn off.
Yeah. You're trying to make love to your wife. He's there. He's thinking, come on, Jesus, turn it off, bro. This alarm feels good, actually. Oh God. Oh, okay, I don't want any more. What do I do?
Oh,
yeah, okay, I'm
Carlos.
revealing more to myself than I really should. God damn. This tea is also a stimulant.
Absolutely.
Your inner juices that just come out in spectacular ways. Let's say that.
Well, there is this term called tea drunk.
Yes.
And it's a thing. It really is a thing. There's this beautiful emancipation, that's the word that comes to mind, that happens when we drink very well cultivated teas. Now granted, this isn't the stuff that you get at your local HEB, even Whole Foods, whatever prestigious market you go to, it does not have this type of tea.
Yeah.
You
This
really
is
have to
definitely
get
Starbucks. This is fucking Starbucks, friends.
You really have.
I lie.
I know.
I just want to let them know I'm a liar. This is actually he had to go on a journey.
Well, it's there are wonderful companies out there that
The Amazon delivery man.
I'm gonna stop right there. But the L-theanine that you get from tea is You can't get it anywhere else. It's literally the only place you can get naturally is from Camellia sinensis, which is the Latin term for tea. And
that sounds like if I was going to summon a spirit, I would say
Camellia sinensis.
Beautiful. Wow.
Yeah. So that amino acid that's actually released in the brain from drinking tea, you can only get that from tea.
Fuck yeah, the building blocks of life begin with tea.
Exactly, it really does. And it really was the pre-funk to meditation back in the day, because
I love the word pre-funked because I think pre-funk, and I'm just like, it's the pre-funk to your funk.
your funk, right? Exactly. And we've used that multiple times in our talk. And yeah, so the tea drunk, it's a thing. It's a beautiful experience. It's so much better than a Xanax or whatever, medication that we take in order to feel this way. Like, this is really what we want to feel.
Even I've been smoking a lot, like smoking weed much less lately.
Sure.
But I've noticed that I haven't smoked in at least a month now, probably almost 2 months, and this tea is such a more clean and lighthearted high that I would totally prefer, at least for me. Everyone's different. I know
absolutely.
works different in different ways, but this tea works for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, it's, like you said, it's clean. There's one of the qualities of L-theanine is that it promotes both focus and relaxation.
Focus and relaxation.
Which is a paradox.
Yeah.
And there's actually no other herb that does that, because if it gives you focus, it's usually at the expense of relaxation. Or if you're, relaxed, it's at the expense of being focused. So this is the only natural element out there that gives us both of those, and it makes us want to be creative.
I love it.
Are you crying again?
I am crying. You can't tell what I'm going. So anyone who just stepped in and started watching is like, what's wrong with that guy?
It's okay. He's here to make me look good.
Yeah, that was the game plan. Just be obnoxiously annoying and totally undesirable, so that.
So, yeah. Actually, we're going to do more exercises. Are you down?
I'm down. Let me check my phone battery just to see where we're at in this field.
Okay.
All right, we're pretty good. We got 35%. Yeah, pretty good.
Okay.
Keep going.
Beautiful.
Keep doing it. Okay.
So this is.
Just if anyone's just started watching again. We're doing improv. Okay, go.
Yeah, we're doing improv exercises. I'm Omar Dev from Improv PD.
He's also known as the sexy one.
He's my marketer. He's the voice, the voice of Sauron. He's like the voice of Dev.
The sexy one.
Or the eye of Sauron. I actually had this. When you do improv as well, it's hard not to think of improvised scenarios. I was sleeping the other 2 nights ago, and this whole thing of the eye of Sauron. The untold story of the Eye of Sauron after, Sauron dies, but what happens to the eye? It's kind of like, the Carlos story. It's no recognition.
Right,
and the Eye of Sauron, in my head, the Eye of Sauron actually lives.
Right.
But he's actually going blind. And so it's this story of this, once very powerful aspect to this demonic force. He's going blind, and so what happens? What's his story after that?
Is the eye a person or a spirit or what?
I'm not sure. I still envision this fiery eye, but much smaller, less intimidating.
Like a smaller version of the Lord of the Rings eye.
Yeah, exactly.
A pocket size.
Yeah, pocket size. much doable.
Just sitting on the table, you're just what the fuck is that? You're just what the. It's a little Buddha thing.
Exactly, because he wants to be accepted.
Yeah, right.
We all have our phases. That's probably his teenage phase.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's what I was thinking about 2 nights ago.
You have very interesting dreams. I feel like my dreams are often I had a conversation with a friend. Yours are like, what happened to the eye of Sauron? I'm just like, chips. The hell is this shit?
So this is called the detail game.
Detail game. Okay.
And I'm going to give you a detail, where
Okay.
you're this fictitious person, and I'm going to give you a quality.
Okay.
And this is actually one of my favorite games. I do it with my troupe all the time. And you're going to create the justification of why that is true.
Okay.
So, and have we played
this one.
Okay,
Definitely.
cool. So yeah, you understand how it goes.
Yes.
And then when you're done, you're going to give me a detail, and I'm going to justify it.
Okay.
Okay.
Beautiful.
So I have noticed that you always go scuba diving every Christmas.
I do. You know, Santa, he has been getting pretty progressive with how he goes about sharing his gifts. You know, he can fly in the air. Pretty fucking good at that. He's got the reindeer. When it comes to the sea, man, dude, there are mermaids. I want to just be straight up with you guys. Mermaids are real.
Mermaids are real.
They're
This is
very beautiful and loving creatures.
If there's
I'm
one
not
thing
gonna
you've
slow-
learned
You're right.
today.
Right. If you know the heart of a woman, or even the heart of your mama, you won't even begin to even comprehend the heart of a mermaid. And mermaids deserve presents, right?
Right.
They deserve to be loved. They deserve to be gifted, and so Santa has special presents that he puts me on a mission. I get up.
Oh, you work for Santa. Okay.
Yep.
Beautiful.
I have a clan of dolphins.
Mm.
And I have a little kind of like, it's like a yellow submarine, little mini size for one person submarine.
Right.
And
you
I
got that one Christmas from Santa.
I did.
Yes.
Yeah, he gifted to me. I was blown away. Like, he literally just like came down my chimney, kind of like blasted it, kind of like the Kool-Aid Man. He actually like, broke my chimney. I was like, what the fuck, dude? He's like, dude, I have a gift for you, but it's not gonna fit down the chimney. Let me blow this out for you. And he brings in the submarine, and he's like, I want you to be my slave. And I was like, sorry, slave? I mean, elf. He said elf. I mean, elf. Sorry. And I was like, oh!
Of course.
Yes. So I immediately agreed, yeah, that's where that's been.
You signed the papers.
Signed the papers,
Didn't even
sold my
think
soul,
about it.
yeah. And later found out he was the reincarnation of Satan. But, you know, that's another story. Not relevant to this one. So yeah. That's how, that's why.
That's why you're always
That's
okay.
why I'm in the sea, man.
Beautiful.
Yes.
That is a wonderful, wonderful tale. And
Yes.
I never knew that about Santa.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's
Most people don't know. Because, again, we're not fucking written in the fucking childhood stories at all.
right. I know.
I am not. I'm not.
Here we go.
There's a theme.
Here we go, guys.
There's a theme.
He's left out.
It's a theme.
Yes.
I'm left.
We're all left out, and we all just want to be heard.
Yeah.
And so at Improv PD, you have you have a chance to be heard. If you are written out of stories, come to me, and we will write that story together. Perhaps maybe the story that you think is real is actually much different, and so we get to create that story together. Yes.
Damn, that was a really great, like, move into that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I think that we're...
Okay.
So, I noticed about you, one thing I noticed is that, like, when you wake up in the morning, like, you do this little kind of, like... it's like this movement with your belly, and, it jiggles in a way that I've never seen a belly jiggle before. Just to preface this, like... I like, how I like drinking coffee in the morning. The only window in our apartment is in your bedroom, and so I tend to awkwardly stand in your bedroom, and you don't sleep with the shirt on, and usually, you're waking up at the time I'm just taking a sip of coffee, and I look over, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on with this belly? I was just wondering about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For one thing, I love this morning ritual that we have, where you're always just you're soaking in the breeze. That's only available in my room. I'm still asleep. You're just like watching me as you're drinking your coffee.
Yeah. It was awkward at first, but I'm glad that we were able to find a really I guess it just brought us together in a way we weren't expecting.
Absolutely. So you know that I have my dog Sentinel.
Yeah.
Black Lab. I've had him for 7 years.
Yep.
Love him to death.
Yep.
But I didn't sleep for a year. It was a very dark time in my life.
Oh, wow.
I was doing all sorts of drugs, hanging out with the wrong people, and you know how it goes. We experiment, and so I literally did not sleep for an entire year. Back in my college days.
What?
And so there'll be times where I'm just recovering. It takes time for the body to recover.
Yeah. I mean, I can't even begin to imagine what kind of drugs you were on, because I know some shit that you come back from Mexico with.
Yeah.
Not saying that it's just in Mexico, but there is definitely a lot of it in Mexico.
Absolutely. Well, actually, in New Mexico, I made contact.
Oh.
First contact with alien beings.
Oh,
and
of course.
part of
There you go.
the ritual of getting to know each other was the exchange of substances. And so I got that really good stuff.
The bath salts?
The bath salts, yes. The sodium bath salts.
As the aliens call it, the grain of life.
The grain, yes, the holy grain. I just had oregano with me. That's what I gave them. But anyway,
Like,
they're coming as we speak.
That's how Italians are made.
So anyway, they're actually coming. They're angry. They're coming back.
What? What'd you do to them?
I gave them oregano. It's like I was in a bad space. I regret it.
Yeah.
We're gonna be invaded in about a year.
What?
So, but we have a year.
I guess.
I know. Yeah,
shit.
of all the things that you wanted to do, you have a year now to do it.
Yeah, right. Well, I guess that's. Trump's in presidency. I'm sure people can be okay with like one more year.
One more hit. Exactly. That is the excuse. One more
like,
year.
you don't like
One
it,
more
you
year.
don't like it,
One more year.
okay.
There we go. Yeah, the
Okay,
tomorrow
okay.
disease.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right.
So anyway, back to my story.
Okay, back to you.
So I didn't sleep for a year because I was on
right.
these alien medications.
Alien medications, of course.
And I sometimes I'll just sleep for a week. Like it's been years since that particular episode that I had. Sometimes I'll just sleep for a week. And Sentinel, my dog, he always senses it. So he just latches himself up to my belly. And actually, we fuse together sometimes.
Whoa.
If I sleep for more than 72 hours and he's latched on, it's like this incredible cuddle that I have with my dog. And so sometimes... you won't even notice that he's attached to me. You're just like, so you...
This is news to me, bro. This is news to me. I did not know you were communing with animals in this way.
Exactly. And so, our cells begin to fuse together.
What the...
And I become part lab.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, this explains the loud barks.
Yeah, the loud barks and, the guttural, morning, sleep noises that I make as you're drinking your coffee by the window looking at me.
This explains why you lick me every morning.
Exactly.
And you say sorry, but I feel like you meant to.
Yeah, right. We always say sorry, but we never mean it. It's humanity. That's the reason for my my morning strangeness. I'm actually just slowly becoming a part of Sentinel, and eventually we'll just fuse. And really. I plan on becoming full Sentinel.
Wow.
By the time the aliens come, so at some point, I'll be ready. I feel like I'll be more ready at that point.
Right. So they'll be like scanning the field.
Yeah.
Like, human dark. Sentinel, save, give money, give love,
give money.
pets,
love,
love and joy.
Exactly. So I feel like this is what you'll need as well.
Yeah.
We need to get you a pet.
I do. Where would you go about acquiring one of these?
These animals that are readily available at any store.
Yes, these very emotionally and physically attaching sort of beings.
Right. Well, maybe not a dog for you. Maybe I'm thinking like a cephalopod.
Cephalopod.
Because that's actually kind of what these aliens look like. So we need to get you like a squid.
So I can see like squid with
Yeah,
like
squid
a hat.
hat. Squid hat. Yeah, exactly.
Be like, no, it's just a hat, guys. My brain
Right,
just
it's like,
totally fucking taken.
not sure. Question mark.
It's like my poop is quite inky this morning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Just like spitting ink. Like, dude, fuck, man. You're right.
So that's my story.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's a beautiful story.
Thanks. You know, it's actually it's part real too, and this is something that you
Tell me
know.
more.
So this is one of the things that I love about improv, and that I wish more.
Sentinel beings.
More. Yes, I wish there was more sentinel beings. But you know, people that there's some people that believe that improv is purely for comedy. And you know, there's no space for drama. There's no space for real in-depth symbols or story time within that genre. And for me, I just believe that you're selling yourself short if you're only relegating the arena of comedy to improv, because when you don't filter information, like really like the depths of who you are, all sorts of memories pour out. Anything that you've ever actually tried to hide ends up coming out, which is a wonderful thing.
Right.
It's vulnerable, but it's that vulnerability that's necessary in order for us to let go of things that we've been carrying for so long, so that we can feel lighter. So within that particular story, I want to point out that back in my college days, I actually did have certain addictions, particularly one to alcohol. And so that came out in that story, for whatever reason. Like it's something that I am still grappling with. I let go of alcohol close to 5 years now. And it's actually one of my things, what I love helping people out the most of is letting go of addictions. Like that's part of my heart-centered work. But it's still something that I grapple with. And so that came out in that story as a reminder that is something that I am still grappling with. There are still tendencies, even though alcohol is no longer in my life, sometimes addictions just get replaced with something else. And there may be something else that I need to look at. I have no idea.
No idea.
No idea.
What could it be that I drink every day?
Yeah.
Well, that's beautiful. I
absolutely.
That.
And actually, I want to talk about your story as well.
Yeah.
And actually something that's been coming up very a lot.
Yeah,
we've been joking joking about it, and it's been this wonderful thing. But you being unwritten, discarded in the annals of history.
Yeah.
Like, is that something that you feel you feel unheard sometimes?
Yeah, I think for most of my life, yeah, absolutely. And I think it's like been this kind of like the sequence of like reaching the completion of something where I would be written in the book, but then like being taken somewhere else before it was written in that book. For instance, like I dropped out of medical school 6 months before graduating. I didn't get that recognition from anyone, It's like, or like, I actually just left. I led a improv group for 3 years, and I chose to lead right before it became a nonprofit. It was just totally my choice.
Yeah.
But it was like, again, choosing to leave. And so there's just kind of been this like constancy of that like unwritten nature. And actually, I think thanks for bringing it up, because it's absolutely something I've had to deal with and understand for myself. I'm like, what the fuck does this mean to me?
Totally.
And the beauty of it is that what's come to me is that like I just need to share my essence more. It's
Absolutely.
not, like it's funny because I went into chiropractic school, into medical school with this desire to actually, I was really into energy healing, subtle energy healing, and I wanted to like become what's the word, like certified or credentialed or like be an authority in that realm by getting this doctor thing, by getting the piece of the paper that says like you are an authority,
Dr. William.
Dr. William, and I left that with the the knowing and the realization that like it wasn't what it said in front of my name or on a piece of paper that was ever gonna come close to being able to dictate or to be able to express what I want to bring to the table in terms of this life, in terms of this experience.
Right.
And so letting go of all that, letting go of like needing to be written,
Right.
and being the almost like the unseen force, but yeah, unseen force, which is funny because when you really kind of like submit or not submit to the unseen force or accept that unseen force, accept
Right.
being the unseen force, then it's amazing. It's funny how you just naturally become seen again and again and again and again. It's just like what we're doing right now. It's just like I'm being
Absolutely.
seen, you're being seen, we're being seen together.
Yeah, we're always being seen. Yeah.
Yeah.
So actually, what just happened, within the last like 5 minutes of both of us really diving deep into the symbols of the stories that we just told, that is my favorite part of this, of this particular part of the improv PD process. We not only do we get to laugh at, our own little quirks,
Yes.
and put into the context of a story that may be ridiculous or maybe grounded, who knows. But then we just get to relate to each other with those particular quirks that we have, of those things that we're trying to let go of.
I've learned so much more about you in this session just now.
Yeah.
Which I was not expecting.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, I was just like, we're going to go live public. It's funny because like, I would almost, if you would ask me, I would think that privately I would learn more about you. But like,
Right.
I've learned so much about you in this like very, revealing
Yeah,
aspect of it.
absolutely.
So it's
And actually, when I'm with a client, like it's such a personal, deep connection that we all share when we are telling stories from scratch. That you really can learn, things from people that would take years to normally develop, and that's a really special thing. Particularly, like we all want to feel whole, and we all have to be patient with that process. But it's nice when we can expedite the process too. Sometimes, it's like when you have really efficient tools, and for me, like meditation, improv, these are really efficient tools for us to dive deeper, to let go of all the clutter, to laugh, to express ourselves authentically.
It's like, I'm just getting this metaphor of like, when you laugh, you loosen your body, you loosen your muscles, and it's almost
Totally.
like, and when you loosen those muscles, it's almost just so much easier to just like sink into your heart.
Yeah.
It's almost like there's just less resistance. It's like you're not going through all this like hard muscle or this hard like tissue to get there. Like your energy can kind of just like naturally kind of like go there.
Right.
And the heart is where like the truth, like just like as we're revealing our truths,
Right.
is discovered and found, and it's found in a way that's not like you didn't have to fucking like ask me all these like really difficult questions to get there. We got there by just sharing something that was completely irrelevant, but totally relevant in the
Right,
end. Yeah.
exactly.
I love that.
And that's, thank you for bringing that up. This isn't me, talking smack about the psychological profession.
Yeah.
Because but I do believe that, when we try so hard to when we're like tunnel visioned on something,
Yeah.
and particularly like if we're talking about something, like let's say you were trying to vocalize to me about that particular topic of being heard, and then like normally your identity would get in the way, and then you would
Right.
actually prepare some kind of spiel for me, and then I would try to sound all wise and like craft some sort of like fun little response to you, and then we do this kind of back and forth, like really it's almost it's a show that's
Right.
like planned out.
I had tears prepared.
Yeah, for tears. Yeah, blah, 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 blah.
This is
Yeah.
this hurts me. Please rub my belly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And often that's not actually the issue.
Yeah.
Like, what we try to prepare for other people. And so that's part of the downfall with kind of modern psychoanalysis
Yeah.
for me.
Absolutely.
Is that the identity is so tricky that it often just it gets in the way and it filters all that information. And it also, sometimes we can become too melancholic because we associate that pain with who we are. Whereas with you were a character
Yep.
in a story
Right.
that you got to associate so many different emotions
Right.
with a very poignant topic in your life,
Yep.
but experienced through a different perspective,
Exactly.
including laughter,
Right.
which allowed you to actually talk about it more efficiently.
Yep.
And yeah,
And it just brings to mind like so I've worked as a life coach for years, and I've had like some really amazing experiences in the world of working with the human psyche.
Sure.
And what I've noticed is that like if we get stuck in just one perspective, one way of looking something, we're only seeing one side of the truth when really there's a 360 perspective to
Sure.
everything. There's like a spherical perspective to everything. There's truths at many different angles. And so the more angles that you choose to look at it from, the better chances are that you're gonna actually like get the whole enchilada. And
the
so
whole enchilada.
what I love about improv is like it's one person to have a full first-person perspective where you're like, I am this, I'm feeling this, I'm in
Right.
here, like this is who I am. It's another person way to say like, I am Jerry who is this, or like Jerry was this, Jerry
Right.
did this, Jerry did that. And it's like you could dissociate. It's like a second-person perspective, or even a third. It's probably like a third-person perspective. You can dissociate from that. Yeah, right. And oftentimes, like especially if these emotions are associated within the body, which often are, because
Absolutely.
that's where we store the emotions. That's where we store those. We have these maladaptive stress patterns that
I'm
are
glad you said maladaptive.
that are stored in the body, and it's like it's so much harder when you're in a first person perspective, trying to bring out that and you're literally
Totally.
feeling the pain as you're saying it, rather than just like going to Jerry or Sebastian.
Yeah,
or Sebastian makes it easy.
I know.
And it's not directly always associated with the body, or like it'll sneak up on you, and you get to the core, and then you feel the stuff, which just often feels good to release it.
Right, and then it's not usually as painful as you think it is.
Right.
Because we all have these like sharks in our head. We think
Right.
they're like giant sharks. You know the
Right.
stuff that we bury beneath. But then when we finally actually access it, it becomes that snow bunny again. You know, it's like it's this, actually this. It's this very. It's not as intense.
Right.
You know, it's not this monster that we make it out to be.
Yep.
So it's fun to have like very ninja-like ways to access the psyche.
And fun ways.
Yeah,
and
fun,
like,
exactly.
I literally am so excited to show up every week. Because I'm like, I know I'm going to have fucking fun. We're going to laugh. We're going to be in a state of joy for like all this time. And then we get to like connect with ourselves and discover parts of ourselves that maybe we don't always get a chance or choose to go into or create a space to explore. So
Absolutely.
I really appreciate that. And it's so helpful when you have someone that's kind of guiding the way and facilitating that for you.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
I just give my body to you. Well, beautiful. I feel like we
I feel like
covered
we did
a lot.
our thing. Yeah.
We fucking did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for joining us today. And this is Amar Dev. He is with Improv BD. He's a fantastic, beautiful person. If you haven't seen that already, you do now.
Yeah, feel free to check out improvpd.com or the Improv PD Facebook page, or call me at 360-801-5590 to set up a session.
If you're in Austin, he's Austin-based, obviously.
Located in Austin, but if you want team building corporate work, which is something that we haven't really touched upon, so I do one-on-one sessions, more spiritual director type work, but I also work with companies to help people get along with each other. Improv is also a wonderful method to get people who are normally at each other's throats to actually cooperate. So in that case, I would travel to wherever your company is located, and we just take it from there.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here, my brother. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Peter. We'll do this again.
Yes, we absolutely will.
Yay!
Yay! All right. Finish.